Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Theana here, Aries the Ram. If you are new to my channel, what's up? I wanted to make this video to finally tell my story on a time that I was verbally abused by my father, and I never spoke about it. I never told anyone this, so you guys will be the first to know. And my purpose of making this video is to release, to help me heal, and to help someone out there that may have went through the same thing or is going through a similar situation. Okay. When I was younger, I wasn't a teenager as yet, and this happened at a very young age. I think it was around when I was 10 years old, and my mind was just very fragile and innocent, and this broke me, honestly. And I never told anyone this story, so I never told anyone this story because from I was a child, I was always told to keep my mouth shut and stop talking so much. You know, like, I wasn't taught to speak up, and when I did speak up, I was always told that I was rude or I'm not telling the truth. These were just words that really got engraved in my mind, and I'm breaking out of that by speaking up today. By the way, if you don't have anything good to say in the comments, just know that you will get blocked, and I don't care for any negative comment or any unsensitive comment. I don't care for it. I'm making this video for myself and for others that need it. Backstory, I had moved to Jamaica, to the United States of America, with my dad at the age of 8, I believe. This was a very long time ago, guys, so please forgive me for, like, if I don't remember something. Okay, so I was new to everything. I had to change schools, get to know what America was really like. This was my first time actually coming out the country. This is my backstory. I used to live in Jamaica. If you don't know, I am Jamaican, and one day my mom actually called me in the house and she was like, "Hey T, do you want to get to know your dad?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she asked me, "Do you want to meet him?" And then I said yes. And from that day, honestly, my life has changed for the best and the bad. But I will tell you guys more stories in another video, in other videos. But this is just the time my dad had told me that he wanted me to die, basically. And this really put me into a lot of pain and trauma, because I don't know how any 10-year-old really can function when their parent tells them that they want to die. So yeah. he had just I had just moved from Jamaica to America for the first time in my life, and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and I was a very timid, shy child. I was very quiet, and I had to readjust myself emotionally, physically, mentally to my new environment. I moved from a small house in Jamaica to a bigger, much more spacious house. When I moved there, it was a 2-story house and I lived in a 1-story house. So that alone was like, wow, this house is so big to me. It was a different space for me. So I had to adjust myself to that. I had to change schools, obviously, and meet new people. So it was like, okay, I have to adjust to all these different places. I have to adjust to a whole different country. Like, you know, it was really different for me. I was told that I had to stop speaking Patois and speak more proper English, and it was just really hard for me. I had to basically live with strangers because honestly, this was my first time meeting my dad. I had to meet his wife. I had to meet my 2 half sisters, and then I had to meet 3 other women in the house. And I never felt like they were my sisters, so we never really had a connection of sisters. So anyways, I had to readjust to these people in the house. Then I had to adjust to just everything was brand new for me, like down to the food that I used to eat. I had to change that. Like, no more, what would you say, like I can't saltfish every week, or like yam and dumpling. Like, if you're Jamaican, you know what I mean. And it was more of just like eating rice, more rice, and just vegetables, and it was just really different for me. And I also had to make new friends, which was really difficult for me because I never really had friends to begin with, and then to move to a whole different school and then try to make friends was just hard for me. And I felt like I couldn't be myself because every time when I was around people, people would just always ask me, why are you so quiet? And I'm just like, is it a problem if I'm quiet? So yeah, that's just like a little backstory of how I am, my environment, and yeah. So long story short, I actually had to go back home after 2 years, I believe. And I spent some time with my mom. I think it was the summer. I spent the summer with her, and after that I went back in the winter. And when I went back, the energy in the house just felt really different. Remind you, I am just a child. I didn't know anything about energy or anything, but I was always intuitive and I always felt people's energies, and I was a child, so I was a lot more connected to the universe. So when I went back, I just felt like an airy feeling, like something wasn't right. And it's like my sisters just had this, what's that word, like they just started acting weird, started acting more like standoffish. And remind you, when in the 2 years while I was getting to know everybody, they were really nice to me. Everybody was really nice to me. I was getting to know them and it was cool. Yeah, we had little ups and downs, but that's normal. Like, they're complete strangers to me. Like, I was just getting to know them. I was a stranger to them. So everybody was just trying to get to know everybody. But when I went back, the energy in the house just felt so strange, and it was particular with the sisters. It was my half sisters and the 3 other women, and it's like they were all against me for some reason. I don't know what it was, but I just knew something was wrong. So after that, like a few months later, they told us that we're moving because one of the sisters were going to college, and I was like, okay, cool. We moved into a smaller but still big enough 2-story house, and this was still in Georgia, and I liked it. It had a nice backyard and a nice front yard. It was still very spacious. And oh, the whole house actually had a really nice front yard and a big backyard. So the second house was just a little bit smaller, but it was still nice. So when we moved there, I had to share rooms with one of my half sisters, and I was cool with that. I was like, all right, cool. And it's like we were just getting to know each other even more and more, you know, as sisters. And even with the 2 other females, I was like, all right, cool. I would give them a name, but it doesn't really matter, so I'm just gonna say females. And yeah, so one day I don't know which day, remember which day this was, or like, I don't know. One time, me and my sisters, we were playing, right? And I don't know if we were playing tag or what, but that day I must have like had really sharp nails, and I scratched her on her eye or like her arm. I don't remember, guys. This was a long time ago. Okay, this was like at least 8. This was like at least 6 years ago. At least 6. And I accidentally scraped her on her body, or I purposely did it. I don't remember. And she ran and told my dad that I purposely scratched her, and my dad was like, apologize, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not sure. I really think I did it, but I didn't do it on purpose. And I knew that my nails were sharp because, I don't know, when I was a kid, I always wanted to grow my nails and just have my own natural long nails, and it was a hazard. So that was just the day, and my dad told me to apologize. I apologized, and that was that. All right. I think a few months went by, and one day me and my sisters, my 2 stepsisters, and I went in the backyard to play. I believe we were playing tag again. I don't know, we were just always playing some game where we were running and just touching each other. Like, we had a backyard, so it was lit. That day while we were playing, I think I was touching her face again. Like, this story is almost funny to me now that I'm saying it and like thinking about it. It's actually really funny and just petty, but when I was a kid, it was just really awful. All right, so one day, and this time we were all growing our nails. We were kids. This was a phase where we just always wanted to have nails. I feel like all the kids from the early 90s can relate to this. We always wanted to grow our natural nails and have our natural nails long for some reason. We didn't want to put tips on. Like tips was just not a thing back then. So we all were growing our nails, and I guess we were all just touching our faces or whatever, and out of nowhere, guys, accidentally, from my heart, God knows it, I accidentally scraped my sister, one of my sisters, on her eye. This time I think it was underneath her her eyebrow or underneath her eye. It was just somewhere around her eye, and I honestly, bro, I accidentally scraped her. I have to emphasize that because what my dad told me, what my dad said to me, how my dad treated me from that day really made me see who the fuck he is, right? So after I realized that I harmed her accidentally, she ran in the house along with my other sister. And I don't know what they told her, but the way how I felt standing outside by myself, I knew I was gonna get in trouble. And when you're a child and you know that you're about to get in trouble, you're scared. You don't know what to do. You think you're gonna get hit, or like, especially when your parents are black, you don't know what is going to happen. So I stood there and I was like, okay, I don't know what she's telling him. But honestly, guys, I feel like she lied and lied just like the first time that I did it on purpose. So my dad, with anger, guys, anger, bro, like I actually remember this part so vividly. This is why I have to tell this story, because I just have to let it out, set my heart free. He called me with anger and was like, Tiana, come in the house now. I remember him saying that or something like that. And he told me to stand where the door is. He told me to close the door and stand at the doorway. And this was the most embarrassing, bro. My dad asked me, what happened? Why did you scrape your sister? I knew that you hate her, or like I knew that you were jealous of her, something like that. He said something like that along the lines, and I was just so confused, like jealous, like mad, like I didn't do that on purpose. I literally told him, Dad, that was an accident, my nails are long. I literally explained to him, Dad, we were playing tag and I accidentally scraped her eye by accident. My nails are long, I didn't mean to. I even apologized to her and told her I am sorry 1,000,000 times. Alright guys, I'm in my bathroom because my living room got really noisy because of my neighborhood. I hope the audio is good because I can hear my voice, like it sounds a lot different in here. But so where was I? So I was explaining to my dad that this was an accident. I didn't do this on purpose. And he just didn't want to hear me out. And it's like he took this opportunity to literally embarrass me, to hurt my feelings, to tell me how I'm just not a good enough child, basically. He wanted to destroy my ego. He just wanted to destroy my light, basically. And I was so sad that day. I was so sad. My dad was just making fun of my whole entire body, like a child. He made fun of everything on me. I don't remember everything that he said, but I remember that he was saying things of like how I was born as a child, how my feet was twisted when I came out with my mom. I'm sorry guys, when I cry, my eyes get red. Like all the blood just rushes to my face. So I'm sorry. Like my nose will get red also, but my dad was making fun of how I was born, of how I was a retarded child, of how I was not smart enough and I would never be smart. He made fun of my head, my body, my feet. My dad, everything that he could have pointed out made me feel worthless. He did it. He told me that I would never be anything in life. He told me that I would never be anything good in life. He told me that I was never good enough for anything. My dad told me that he should have put me in a garbage truck and make it crush me. My dad basically told me that he wanted me to die. That I was a mistaken accident. He didn't want me. That my mom was worthless just like me. My dad bullied me that day. And everyone sat in the house in the same room, in the living room, and listened and laughed at me. From that day, I saw the most dirtiest, most evil devil I've ever seen in my life in my dad. My dad is evil. And from that day, I knew that he did not love me. I knew that I was somehow a mistake for him. But the more and more videos I make about you, I'm gonna be successful, and it's going to be in your face and you're gonna feel like shit. That goes to my dad. And I don't care what anybody has to say. This is my story. I am angry. I am hurt. And I never told anyone this story but you guys. You guys are the first ones to hear this story. And I'm gonna get rich off of you. You're gonna feel so worthless. You're gonna feel the same way 10 times more. This is why I decided to make this video. Just so I can live record every feeling that I feel right now at this very moment. So I can let go and let someone else see that you are strong, that you are worth everything, that you have a purpose in life just like me. We all have a purpose. We wake up every single day to see another day for a reason. And I am never letting my dad ever tell me that I am worthless. Ever. Everyone can say that I'm angry and I am resentful. I am 100% aware of that. This is why I'm making this video. To release these emotions so I can heal and let it go. So I can let go of this grief in my heart. This is the most realest video that I am about to post on my channel. I contemplated on making this video many times, even before I even thought about making it. And you're like, what, huh? What? I first wanted to write. I first wanted to tell other people around me, but I decided to just kept it. I decided to keep it to myself, and I realized that it's not doing anything good for me. It's breaking me apart, and I just decided to just make the video just so I could just release every single emotion verbally. And just let it go. Let it go. I just want to let it go. I just want to let it go. So, yeah. I'll see you guys.